Hello and welcome. Today is May 6, 2025. Right now, across the country, we got a big weather event happening in two different areas, mainly over here in Texas. Over in the southern portion of the country, we're going to be experiencing floods and severe weather, as well as the Northeast experiencing severe thunderstorms and flooding. But the south over here is going to be taking more of a tornado risk throughout the rest of today and tomorrow, and maybe even over towards Friday. And right now across the country, we do see that today we do have a enhanced risk across Texas and Louisiana here. So Houston area, probably over towards I don't know that many Louisiana cities, but like south of Shreveport, maybe around the Lake Charles area, and south of Dallas, maybe near Tyler or Waco. And then we have this larger slight risk as well as one in the Northeast, so you guys better be prepared for that. For the tornado risk, we have ourselves a hatched area of a 10% chance tornado within 25 miles of your location, even a 2% up here in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York. So, I mean, it's not a 0% chance, but we do have that hatch risk down here where we can see up to 10%. That 5% goes all the way to Mississippi, goes back to Dallas, as well as Houston. And any like suburb areas north of Houston will definitely for sure see this. So anywhere in like the eastern portion of Texas will definitely see some stuff for sure. For the hail risk, we also do have that same hatched area of a 15% chance, as well as the Northeast not having that hatched risk, but still would have a up to a 15% chance within your area. Now, this is still bigger, and we do have a 5% that extends to the Florida Panhandle, a little bit around the Daytona, Orlando areas as well, and again, the Northeast. For the winds, it's probably going to be our biggest threat. It just doesn't have a hatch risk this time, so we can have up to 30% in eastern Texas and western Louisiana, a 15% across, Dallas, Shreveport, almost all of Louisiana, southeast Mississippi, and a little bit of the northeast over here. For day two, it's not that big. We do have a little slight risk area just around San Antonio and Houston, and just to the north of Corpus Christi. We could be seeing some of that, as well as a martial risk that goes all the way up to the Oklahoma Kansas border, all the way up to the kind of the four, not really four corners, but up to Missouri as well, all the way down the Gulf Coast line here, all the way over to New Orleans. So you can see some of that. We have a different area of general risk, so just a plain, no, not really severe weather stuff. Same thing over here in the Northeast. Now, this could always update again as we go to day three again, where it's just a general risk. I have to imagine they'll include like a marginal risk summary here, but it's still 3 days out. Anything could still change from now until then. So make sure you follow me for updates for any of that stuff to happen. So for Cape, we could be seeing quite a bit of some of this, especially in like this south central portion of Texas, where we could see up to 4,000, maybe even isolated areas of 4,700 Cape. So we could be seeing a lot of Cape with this. Now, a lot of the stuff is going to be happening over here where we're not going to be seeing as much stuff. But, maybe areas around Houston could still have around, 1,000 to 2,000 Cape. So that'll definitely fuel up the storms. Especially with the bulk shear stuff over here, it definitely will be continuing over in this area where we could have stuff up to 50 knots over here. So we could be seeing some of that for sure, and that's still going to be continuing over for a while still. How much SRH or storm relative helicity, how much spin we're going to have up in the atmosphere. We're definitely going to have quite some amount. Like, we might have some areas in Texas going up to 500, maybe isolated areas seeing 600. So there's going to be a lot of spin in the atmosphere for sure. So any of these storms that reach into there for sure are going to see a lot of that stuff. For significant tornado parameter, we are going to have some, but a lot of this is going to be around the Houston area, not really over in like the east central part. We're going to be seeing some of that stuff. I mean, we still could see, stuff up to 4.0, maybe up to 5.0 in some places, and then quickly it's going to die out, but it'll eventually come back whenever the next thing comes, and that will feel for the next storms for the slight risk that is happening tomorrow. Across the country, it is quite a bit busy. Over here in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado and Wyoming, we do have winter storm warnings, which I feel like I shouldn't be talking about that in March, but it is the mountains, so we are gonna have some of that snow still hanging around there. And then across the southern portion of the country and as well as the East Coast will definitely be active on flooding, severe weather. So that's going to be happening for throughout quite a while. So this will be happening for quite a bit, and there does not seem to be a stop. There will be a little break period, maybe around the mid portion of May, where we at least say make a couple days of a break across the country, and then it just starts going crazy insane again. Quickly, I want to talk about the climate and precipitation. So across the country throughout the 6 to 10 chance of temperatures, a lot of the country is going to be experiencing higher than normal temperatures. So the south and the west will be experiencing those cooler than average temperatures, and especially up here in the Midwest, we're going to be seeing quite the intense, like, above average temperatures. Going into the 8 to 14 day, they are starting to get more data about, letting it be higher, mainly across east of the Rockies. So stuff around the Great Lakes for sure will be experiencing very intense heat for sure. Precipitation, I think this is still the same as the last time that I made a video, but kind of across the plains, the Northeast here, and the Midwest are experiencing much drier conditions. 8 to 14 stuff, it's still going to be the same, so it's not really going to be changing much. And that's the whole weather talk for today. So if you guys like to see a new update video, make sure you guys like and subscribe and click that bell notification, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.